person. Did you know that progressive relaxation technique is over 100 years old? And it's a great technique. It works on some people. It works to produce a nice, sometimes light stage of hypnosis, sometimes a very deep stage, receptive state of hypnosis to those people who are more receptive. You know, some people actually naturally go into hypnosis very deeply and quickly. Statistics say somewhere around 10% of the people, maybe give or take, can be very receptive to a progressive relaxation or even an arm-raising induction technique. But I think when you're into the 21st century, into scientific hypnosis, that it's good to learn some of these other methods, some of the methods that I've pioneered and that I teach people and that you, John Wallaby, have learned when coming to my courses, you know, are very, very effective because it's able to put a receptive, even a resistant person into very deep hypnosis. Kylie, I'm here. Welcome. Kyle Sands from England. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so glad you made it. I think you are going to be a wonderful hypnotherapist and help many, many people, and I can't wait to continue to guide you on your path of scientific clinical hypnosis, because you have studied so much and you are so eager not just to learn but to help people change their lives, that I'm honored and very proud to be your friend. So thank you so much for tuning in. We've got with us England, we've got Connecticut, we've got Australia. I don't know about our friends in Indonesia or Singapore. You should be signing in. So anyway, it's really important to visualize, to affirm, and to project, but also to learn some advanced techniques. The progressive relaxation is a wonderful method. I utilize it usually as a deepening technique, as a more relaxation technique once I hypnotize my clients, but I have also used it as a primary induction. Again, these are just tools and techniques that we're teaching you. Okay, so excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that message. And folks, so right now we want to show you this technique. It's an arm-raising induction technique. And again, it's a wonderful technique. It's good to learn. It's good to study in all the different types of hypnosis schools. There's a lot of great schools out there. Believe me, years ago, I was the president of the National Guild of Hypnotists here in Los Angeles. I was the president in their local chapter. Of course, I branched out and I started my own schools and institutes, and I'm proud to say I've recently opened the United States Board of Clinical Hypnosis, which is based on elevating hypnosis to the 21st century, making it scientific, academic, logical, and easy to understand, but based on mind science, because that's what we are, really. We are hypnotherapists, and we're utilizing a wonderful science. So I like to teach people more about this science. Okay, so Tom, always researching new induction methods to access the unconscious mind. Thank you, John. We can also call the unconscious mind the subconscious mind. Maybe we can call it the healing aspect of our mind. Maybe we can call it the dynamic mind, because that is really 90% of all of your true potential. That storehouse of emotions is also the storehouse of neurochemical changes, such as serotonin, melatonin, beta endorphin, dopamine. And we'll get into all of the neuroscience about hypnosis too. But that subconscious part of our mind is the part we want to access. But we also want to teach our clients how to think properly so they can access that part of their mind every day to reach their goals and to feel happy and joy and success. So this is an arm-raising technique that I'm going to show you. And again, it works really good on some people. And it's a wonderful basic hypnotherapy method. And it might be new to some of you. So Mariah, will you allow me to demonstrate this technique to all of our good friends out there that are watching our webcast today? Okay. So what I want you to do, Mariah, is I want you to put your arm right there on the table, just like that. This is an arm-raising induction technique. And basically what it does is it helps increase a person's focus and concentration. And it utilizes what we call ideomotor responses, which could be a movement tied into a thought or a suggestion. The movement might be conscious, it might be subconscious, the person might be just doing it themselves, but it's a technique to increase focus and concentration. And here's how it works. Mariah, I want you to look at your hand right now. And what I want you to do is, I want you to leave your elbow right where it is on the table but I want you just to lift your hand up just like this. Just lift it up just like that. Okay, I'm going to raise the camera a little bit so we can see Mariah. Okay, just lift the hand up just like that. Again. Okay, excellent. Good. So I'm showing the client, actually, I am showing the client, what's going to be happening, but I'm having them just practice lifting their hand up. Okay, excellent. Now, as you lift your hand up, Mariah, this time, I want you to lift your hand up and I want you just to let it turn in towards your face, just like that. Excellent, excellent, great, excellent. So this is a wonderful technique, Mariah, to increase your focus and concentration and to produce a very receptive state of hypnosis, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to begin, and it's going to work very successfully on you. And I've used this technique on hundreds of people, and it works very, very successful in you becoming very receptive to creating the change you've come in for today. Okay?
Okay.
What I did was I affirmed to the client that this technique is successful. I did an affirmation. Okay, so I'm going to move this down so we can see her hand right there. Okay, I hope everyone can see it now. And as this technique continues, we're going to see some physical changes occurring to increase focus and concentration to help her get to what we call a peak of suggestibility, to be receptive today. So I want you to look down at your hand right now. Now I want you to take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, Mariah, I want you to gently close your eyes. So as you exhale, just close your eyes. And I want you to imagine your hand right there on the table, the palm of your hand resting on the table, your fingers resting on the table, your arm resting on the table, your elbow resting on the table. I want you to imagine or visualize it or even pretend that you can see that hand with your eyes closed and nod your head yes, Mariah. Good. So what we're doing is we're tapping into stimulating her imagination now. Good. So now with your eyes closed, I want you to leave your elbow right where it is on the table. But when I count from 1 up to 3, I want you to imagine that I'm placing a little string around the wrist of this hand, around the wrist of your left hand. And attached to this string is a bouquet of helium balloons, a dozen light air balloons. And when I count from 1 up to 3 and I reach 3, and I say the words higher and lighter, light as a feather, I want you to instantly, slowly, just allow your hand to start to lift and rise off the table on the count of 3. But I want you to leave your elbow right where it is, relaxed on the table. But on the count of 3, I want you to imagine I'm tying a little string to the wrist of this hand, to your left hand. Attached to the string is a dozen light air balloons, a dozen helium balloons. And on the count of 3, I want you to allow that left hand to slowly and instantly start to lift and rise off the table on the count of 3. As though there are a dozen light air balloons attached to a string attached to the wrist of that left hand on the count of 3. 1, 2, and now 3. Let that left hand start to lift and rise, higher and higher, light as a feather, slowly going higher and lighter, light as a feather. As that hand is slowly lifting, imagine that hand slowly turning in towards your face, the palm of your hand slowly twisting and turning in, as though it's magnetically turning in towards your face. And I want you to slowly and instantly let that hand pull in towards your face, coming closer and closer, lifting, rising, pulling, tugging closer and closer. When the hand touches your face, I want you to let that hand rest and relax on your face. And when that hand touches your face and rests and relaxes on your face, you're going to reach what we call a peak of suggestibility, of concentration, to allow yourself to become receptive today, to going into a very deep receptive state of hypnosis. And as that hand is touching on your face now, I want you to slowly let your head start to drop down just a little bit, but leave your hand where it is, touching and resting and relaxing on your face. Let your head slowly start to drop down with your hand touching and resting and relaxing on your face. A little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Excellent. Now, in a moment, when I say the word sleep, I want you, and this is what we can do, folks. I can have her hand drop gently onto the table. I can have her hand drop gently onto the sides, down by her side to relax. But when I count from 3 down to 0, Mariah, and I simply say the word relax, I want you to gently allow that left hand to gently just drop and relax gently onto the table. When I count from 3 down to 0 and say the word sleep, let that left hand gently relax And when it touches the table, let it become completely and totally relaxed as it gently and slowly drops right down onto the table. 3, 2, 1, 0. Let it slowly drop, 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 and relax. And let that hand become completely and totally relaxed from the shoulders all the way down to the fingers, just as though every muscle, nerve, fiber, and tissue within that arm, hand, elbow, and shoulders are relaxed from the shoulders all the way down to the fingertips. And you're doing perfect. And now with your eyes closed, Mariah, I want you to imagine a wonderful tingling feeling of relaxation moving from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. From the tips of your toes all the way up to the top of your head. And I want you just to think of your entire body becoming relaxed, your eyelids relaxing, your hand and arms becoming completely and totally relaxed, as though every part of your body is completely and totally relaxed. And in a moment, I'm going to simply lift your hand up, and I'm going to just drop it right down by your side, and you're going to let your hand become completely, totally relaxed, with your head still relaxing, and your body becoming completely and totally relaxed. Don't help me lift it. Let it just completely relax. Heavier, 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 and relax. Good, that's perfect relaxation, Mariah. From the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, completely and totally bathed in relaxation. And when I count from 1 up to 5, and I simply say the words 1 up to 5 and say the words, wake up, you'll open your eyes, you'll sit up in your chair, feeling fully refreshed. But you have the ability to allow yourself to be receptive in our hypnotherapy session because you've performed this technique of the arm raising induction perfectly. And now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wide awake, eyes open. And Mariah, how did that feel? Having that hand going up. What did that feel like to you, Mariah?
I was like, kept going.
Were you having it go up? Was it kind of going up by itself? Did it feel like?
It was like weightless.
Weightless.